Good morning, although it probably won't be morning when you get this message. So, I have a little treat, a little helpful tip in this video today. This is morning. So working with Marbas, we're gonna work with Mercury, right? So in this video, I'm gonna show you how to use your phone to follow planets, look up your own birth chart, how to look up Sidereal astrology or Vedic astrology. There's gonna be some reading in this video at parts where I'm putting things in a notepad. This is for your help as you're working with astrology. Things like this are good to just empower your mind, you know? Stay in tune with what's above, what's within. And, you know, astrology is pretty cool. I like sharing it anyways. So, it's morning now. I'm just getting my coffee and then I'm gonna go for a walk in nature somewhere. I pulled a little bit last night. Last night I got this really amazing energy. And so I started charting Mercury, and Mercury was squared with Lilith. So we're gonna go over that, what that means, how to take notes on it, how to meditate on it, how to allow that to teach you in your mind and in life. And then, yeah. So that's it. Like I said, there will be some reading portions of this video. I'm gonna try to keep it as short as possible. This is the intro, and at the end of it all, after I show you how to find the charts, how to look up specifically what you're looking for, and then there's about 25 minutes where it won't be like all reading, and I'll probably talk as we're working through it, so that in the video, if you find the information helpful, you can watch it back, hit mute, and just like take notes off of reading the material I write. I screen recorded it, so everything I'm doing is going to be available for you to see. And then at the end, I'll do a little reading on what all of this information meant to me, how it unfolded in my mind, and how it could relate to you, and then pull some tarot. So that's it. I gotta get dressed, get my ass out there before it becomes too hot. It's a pretty nice day today. I'm very grateful for this Sunday, and hope to see you enjoying your Sunday. Take care. Hello, and welcome to this tutorial about how to find your astrological birth chart, or see what's in the sky at this moment. This is Astroseek Sidereal birth chart calculator. So if you pay attention to what I'm doing now, I just typed in Astroseek or Sidereal astrology, came down here filling in the date, the time, and the place. I like to use, where it says there, I like to use Raman. Calculates. Here comes the chart. See at the top here, naksatras? You can tap this and boom, the chart has naksatras, alignments. There's aspects. Aspects will tell you things like trines, squares, sextiles, etc. We look for Mercury in Cancer. right? We go over. Now we look down. Is there anything in the line with it? Yes, there is. You see that square down there? Well, you see that square, the red square? Now look across, and it's squared with Lilith in Libra. Okay, so that means that those are the two planets. We're working with Mercury because of Marbas. Alchemists use astrology to understand energies and mentalities, behaviors and cultural influences, what's going on in the world today. We see Mercury placed in the 4th house of Cancer, which the 4th house, this was done last night, but 4th house is Cancer energy, the home. Mercury is how you're going to communicate, how you're always going to communicate. So in your birth chart, if you find Mercury, this is who you truly are. This is who you speak about. This is what you are. If your Mercury is in Cancer of the 4th house, you're a very family-oriented person, very emotional, intuitive, psychic. If it's in Astrology, very devoted. You might be very sexual. You might be very into speaking to many people. You could be a priest. You can be an astrologer, whatever the case may be. So we know that it's squared with Lilith. So Lilith is in the 7th house, the sex house. Yes, Lilith represents taboos, hidden secrets, desires, and stuff like that. And I'll go into that more when we do the typing. It's in Svati, Libra, 7th house. So these are the shadow things about your life that you keep hidden from the world, and more importantly, those most closest to you. Now, these hidden things need to be addressed. That's why it's squared Mercury. You need to communicate these things to create a healthy lifestyle with you and your loved ones. So as this plays out, I'm just going to pull one card. What do we have here? 6 of Pentacles. Something very charity or generous is coming your way because of works you've put in. Okay, so also this represents learning while also teaching others, right? A good way to help you understand things more better is to communicate them with your friends. Teach others what you have learned, and it will help in the long run. You're helping them sharpen their skills. They may profit, you may profit. Equal things, give and take. The balance of Pentacles, bringing in financial prosperity. You might want to work with things like helping those less fortunate than you. It's just a very noble thing. I wouldn't put it on YouTube or Instagram, but it's always nice that if you can, to do for someone that you know is having a hard time. Okay, and the reverse King of Wands. So you might have to watch your temper. You may be acting a little more outspoken than you truly are. So that's some give and take for you here. Take time to calm and ground, get out of your ego as much as possible. People look to you in a good sense. Keep it that way. If your hot temper is ruining things in your life right now, remember the Magician card. Go back to the basics and start creating something. Work with your tools. Manifest things. Connect to spirit. Perform, do something that is beneficial for not just, prosperity, but for, a healthy, balanced life. The Magician is one with the infinite divine and has very minimal, but can create magical things from the limited resources. So this is where I end this one, and we will go into the reading part next. Okay, so open up your memo pad in your phone. This is going to be helpful for you. You want to write down the alignment you're trying to do some research on. And, you know, Google and Safari or Firefox, whatever you do for a search engine, can be your friend. Especially if you're really just kind of looking at the alignments for energies of the world, or they can benefit you for your readings, you know. Instead of doing readings on gossip columns, I prefer to look into the astrology and then pull all the information, meditate on it. And here we just type it up, and look, it gives you a description. Copy and paste, right? This one goes pretty far into details. I'll slow down here so that I don't get too far ahead of myself. We've got some time during this reading. You see all these aspects? These are all taken from books and teachings of astrologers throughout time. So there's nothing wrong with helping you learn and study, keep with your practice where it's convenient. I understand that years ago people had to go outside with a telescope and add and do math and charts and survey and stuff like that, but you know, use what you can. It helps your progress, brings peace to your life, helps you understand the world today. You know, if you're a psychic or a empath or energetic person, a lot of the times you're like, what the fuck is going on? Why do I feel this? Instead of quick to blame, I remember a long time ago, I was very quick to blame everyone in my life, accuse, hey, you're doing this, you know, you're making this hard on me. But, you know, astrology brings out the truth. There's energy that's a little funky. Here we go. We copy, we paste. You want to read all this? And here's where I'm going to let you read for a moment. So the reason why we take notes is because these are the things we meditate upon when we tap into the other side. It gives us a point of direction, like a destination in the ether, to where we're not just kind of swirling around there with no idea whatsoever what's going on and making critical assumptions based on our realities, based on things you may be hiding, holding on to, never processed, insecurities from childhood. And now, here we are, just writing down the next alignment we're going to look up. This specific squared is really diving into things you have not communicated that are the true you. I'll give you a chance to read. Do you know how many marriages stay together for extremely long times, and neither one of them has openly communicated about their hidden desires, their secret fetishes, their secret emotional clicks and ticks, and that's where you get two people walking by each other like ghosts in a relationship, putting on smiling faces for others, and, not treating anyone in their life the way they should, not treating themselves the way they should, not staying on, in happy, healthy understandings. Because at a core, they're in a relationship for far too long and never even got to know each other. So this squared is really focusing on if you're feeling like that in any situation, job, friends, communities, groups, activities, online. You know how many people online on Facebook don't even know the millions of people that they're not even being their true self because they're afraid of losing invisible friends. Dopamine is the reason why. So it's not like you're doing anything wrong. It's the world is very addicted to instant release, instant gratification, pleasure, reward centers. So a good way to train your mind to come back into a more common ground is to do little things that can reward you, but that take a little bit of effort. It doesn't have to be extremely hard at first. For me, it started with, there was a time when after my stroke, I wasn't able to read more than a chapter without the pages, the words on the book swirling. So small things like opening the book and only reading that paragraph, then closing the book and being grateful that I got that far. They rebuild the reward system, and then I wouldn't do anything like that would give me instant gratification the rest of the day. I would usually go for a nice walk in nature, work in my garden, or work on a project, bend some wood for drum hoops, whatever I could that was patient and making progress, right? So I wasn't, because there was a time I used to spend 6 to 12 hours a day doing nothing but doom scrolling and jackassery on Facebook with people I don't even know, and isolating everyone in my life that I did know and love. I was going through a lot at the time, so whatever. But I mean, oh my goodness, I had to come to an understanding that that was not healthy for me. Because one wrong post could send your emotions and mind into a downward spiral. And as a quick hit dopamine rush, you're looking to backlash, online warrior, some kind of response so that it'll trigger your dopamine in your brain for reward system. So I had to learn to take all of that back and no, this isn't really my life. I'm a astrologer, I'm a medium, I'm a shaman, I'm a plant medicine person. I walk with spirits, I paint, I draw, I like to work with plants, make things, fishing, hiking, children, barbecues, baseball, family fun, deep conversations, intimacy with my lover. Those are the things in life that really mattered to me, and it cost me to say I am going to rebuild my mind to stop focusing so much on dopamine. These are things astrology can help with too. This little tutorial I'm giving you here can help you, like, this is an accomplishment. Be satisfied with a little bit of effort, writing some notes, and wow, you learn something. Here we're just kind of explaining how I see and interpret 7th house and now 4th house energy, because I have worked with it a lot, so I don't really need to copy and paste anymore. These are just my ways of helping you learn how to help yourself work through astrology. It's a wonderful tool, especially when you know when to and when not to involve yourself in the outer world's reflections of the planets, the energies. Planets and the choruses of angels are the virtues, meaning that they recognize that all the gods and angels were created from the description of how the energetic pulse waves coming through our solar system and the frequencies from the galaxies outside the houses affect everything on Earth. Our water, our plant life, our seasons, our emotions, our mentalities, our behaviors, our connections. And so they would give them names, and usually it was a alchemist or a shaman or a priest that they would name. Like, you know, saints were all a human being before they were deemed saints. Shamans were a lot of the gods of the animism world. Meditation helps you connect to these energies. Back then they were, you know, they didn't have fucking technology. They didn't have televisions. They didn't have radios. They didn't have social media. They didn't have all these distractions. So, like, their minds were so tapped in. Even the most mundane of person was so tapped into nature and life and the community that they could create and see these images in their meditative world. And the astrologers were usually named gods because, like, people would wonder, like, wow, how can you perform all this magic? How do you know this was going to happen the day ahead? How did you know how to schedule our month, our week, or build this pyramid? Well, they were practicing, keeping in alignment with the universe. So this is why I really love sharing this with you now, of how to begin your journey into understanding planetary energies, union with the universe, tapping into your meditative mind, discovering this God knowledge, divine wisdom that you possess. You just may not know how it's actually working in your life. So you can read these back. I'm not sure what I wrote. Sometimes when I start writing, even in my journal, if I'm writing with pen and paper or if I'm writing in a memo pad, my mind transforms into this very tapped in energy where I can channel things, and sometimes I just ramble on. But that's me allowing my intellect to do its thing so that my back brain can tap into a higher consciousness, relaxing my body. Last night, Marbus's, I got some information that a lot of people seek spirituality as a meaning to have something to live for. In other words, they are very lost in the world, and spirituality gives them hope. That's not the case for me. For me, it's I've been through a lot in my life, and I still handle a lot, you know. I have things right now that I'm going through that I don't tell anyone. They're my family, you know. I have a family, and I have family members in the hospital at this time, elders growing old, loved ones. And so for me, really understanding the energy of when you go somewhere to enjoy your space and people are erupting over a broken fingernail, you can say, okay, I understand because I looked at the charts. This is what they're really going through. And yeah, I don't want to be in this kind of energy at this time. Or if you can help, you can help. But I made a video talking on a cliff ledge today about, you know, sometimes you just gotta balance what you want to be around, and if you can even help those. Because loved ones are going to have situations, they're going to have bad days, and you want to be there for them, right? But are those loved ones or friends or communities or job or whatever, are they always projecting? Are they always hostile and angered? Are they always competing with everyone around them? Well, you're going to want to, you can't do anything for them. Now, people that you do want to have balance with, it's like, no, there's a lot of love and laughter and enjoyment of life, deep connection, hugs and talks, and these interactions are beautiful. So when they have a hard time, it's no problem to be like, I'm here. How can I help? So learning astrology can help you see that most of the world is stuck under an illusion. You know, false personalities, not being their true self, hiding their true feelings, to stay in communications that are harmful, abusive, overbearing, demanding, or maybe just too much for your energy. So once you learn the balance between you and the universe, you can see it in others. Know thyself, and you will know all around. Right? Do you have eyes to see and ears to hear? That means, can you see beyond the masks' identities? And now we're going to put these two together, squared, right? So that you get the full depth. I'm only doing all of this looking up because it's helpful for you. Put it all in a memo pad. Read the whole thing. Reflect on it. Take some notes as you're reading everything that we put in this memo pad. Jot them down, look them over, write some notes about how that relates to what you're going through. Does it relate what you're going through? Do you know people in your environment? Journal what your inner feelings, thoughts, and perceptions and observations are. Sometimes perceptions aren't the truth because you're only seeing through one pair of eyes. Knowing all these aspects and how to tap into a chart of each day. Notice I just typed in the day of last night and 1 a.m. Because it moves. The houses move frequently. The moon moves frequently. Mercury moves frequently. The rest of them, not so much. But they, just want to tap in whenever you're experiencing something. Like say if you're an empath, you have this sensation within. You're like, oh, whoa. The other day, 4th of July, I went to do errands. And as I was out, I was just struck with intense nausea, and everywhere I went, I felt like I was gonna vomit. So I had to come straight home. Tapped into the energy, looked up the chart at that specific time and date, what was placed, what houses, what was the alignments. Okay, took some notes, meditated, took some peace time to myself. I had engagements that evening. I didn't want to bring that very nauseous energy to a very fun, peaceful, happy gathering for 4th of July. So I grounded myself, meditated on the observations I made from the astrology, and had an amazing night with people I love sharing time with. So this is what I mean. It helps your empathic energy, your psychic energy, by learning how to understand what's going on in the astro. Now this helps because you don't want to, especially if you're an empath, you probably read tarot. If you're a psychic medium, you probably read tarot because, you're trying to figure out where is all this shit coming from. If you're a clairvoyant, clairaudio, clairvisual, clairsentient, the world around you is beautiful to me because it's so intriguing to see the world just speak and communicate and animate and see the spirit and life in all things. It's beautiful to me. But at a time, it was very overwhelming. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Why are faces appearing here? Why is the clouds talking to me? And how come I can feel this? And I can hear my neighbors speaking, but their mouth isn't moving. What's going on? It was very weird. So when I would read tarot, you want to be clean when you read tarot because you want to come through with an unbiased, filter all of your inner turmoil out. This is what astrology does. Oh, okay, this is just energy in the sky. That's why it's reflecting in my reality. Now I can take the suspicion of so-and-so out of this reading. I can take the hatred towards this person for something that they're not really doing. It's just an astrological event out of this reading, and I can channel the messages calmly without my own inner turmoil projecting onto people who might be going through a lot. And you send them the one needle that bursts that bubble, and who knows what you can do. So we want to understand things from a higher level as much as possible. So that's why I've brought this to you. And if you want to go back and read this on mute and take notes, pause, feel free to do so. This is just to help you understand, to learn astrology, to balance your energy, thoughts, spirit, emotions, and relations. Relations meaning everyone you know. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed. Okay, so the message is from Mercury in Asalacia, Cancer to 4th house, squared Lilith in Swati, Libra, 7th house. Basically, you may be experiencing troubles expressing your true self, right? So this is a astrological mirror to help you understand, like, it is worth you being yourself and doing the things that make you feel good, regardless of how it makes others feel. Okay, so some things, I know you just went through the tutorial of how to look up your chart, or let me tell you, I use it like we're working with Marbus, right? Alchemists use it to understand the energies, to see that it is always something beyond the mundane world. So here's some books I was telling you about. This one is really good for finding key features in astrology. Like, let's go to Slatia. Mercury is actually home in Slatia. 35. Motivation is dharma, which represents right actions. Like, karma is just action, right? Dharma is the result of those actions. Karma can be seen as what you do. Dharma could be seen as doing things in the right way, because you're aware of your actions create reactions. This symbolization of the serpent is of divine wisdom, procreation, sexuality, and prosperity, as well as danger, trouble, unexpected attack. The serpent energy must be respected and harnessed, because it has the power to inflict poisonous venom that can paralyze its enemies with a hypnotic gaze. So, Swati, ability to bend the wind. Working with wind means to purify and cleanse your thoughts, right? Breath work is really heavy with Swati energy. You may have a restless nature at this time, but you're being granted the power of communication to influence others, right? So use your influence well. You may be noticing strong intuitive and psychic properties when it comes to Lilith and Swati. You might want to study theology, find modesty in your life, compassion, work on virtuous, and communicate with kindness. These are things that will help you through this energy. So this book, the Naksatras, is really good to help you find the meanings, like the metaphors of astrology. Why did people write mythos based on the stars? Any book about astrology is good to help you learn what the houses represent, what the zodiac signs represent, how to understand the planets and their placements. But this one's very good. Vic DiCara is an amazing astrology teacher, especially for Vedic. And I like how he kind of combines the Vedic and Western in a specific way. But I highly want to emphasize on using Sidereal when you look up things like what are the current energies you're dealing with. Because it's like an illusion if we're looking up Western astrology. I'm not knocking it, it's just a fact. It's like an illusion if we're looking up Western astrology, which is 24 degrees off, and trying to figure out fundamentals about what you're experiencing, why this is going, what kind of plants to use, what kind of things are good to work with, what stars are actually in alignment with what planetary energies, bringing yourself back into alignment. Remember, the body possesses all the stars and planets in the sky. The mind possesses all the stars and planets in the sky. So bring yourself into alignment. This is Radically Deep Fundamentals of Astrology by Vic DiCara. You can find it on Amazon. It's good to relate astrology to mental health. Get this book. It helps diagnose mental disorders or mental illnesses, neurocognitive behaviors, mentalities. Not to claim something wrong with you, but to understand your mind deeper. To help you learn astrology, Vedic astrology deck. It's very good, very simple. It's in cards. You read the book and go from one to the end, and it will teach you exactly how to lay out an astrology chart. So mind you, the clips I showed you a bit ago, they are ways to help you as you learn to read your own birth charts, not to supplement your actual study and work. These books and this deck of cards I gave you are ways to keep your practice going. Practice, the more you practice, the better you become, right? Is this not right? We all know this to be true. I know, especially for me, after I had my mental breakdown and physical breakdown, where I was like, my mind had neurological problems from injuries and pain and stuff like that. I wanted really quick answers, right? So I used to get frustrated trying to, and what it took was one thing at a time. Be patient, be right here. Don't try to sell readings when you haven't even gotten an awareness of it yet. Work with them. Understand putting your soul back together in alignment with the universe. Talk about this with like-minded individuals. And try to be open-minded. This is what Mercury is all about. Be open-minded to learn instead of compete with others who are skilled in metaphysical sciences, you know, holistic sciences. This is ways that you can really help your life. Mercury is also represented by Hermes, and Hermes carries a caduceus, healing. This is Raphael's staff, but these are good ways to help heal your body. Ooh, my distillation kit is gonna be here. It just got shipped. I just got a notification. I found one really affordable for my budget, so I miss my working with my glassware, so those things are coming soon. So all of this goes into helping you become one with yourself, know thyself, with your universe, know the world around you and what you believe God to be. Understand the people in your reality better. When you understand things on this higher levels of education, you're able to live calmer because you're not holding so much expectation and pressure, and you're not taking things so personal. Now, don't get me wrong, things will bother you time to time. That's okay. These should be reminders. So, am I doing my, for me, nature walks for peace? Am I grounding enough to get my mind calm and meditated? Am I swaying from my practices? You know, because when things are frustrating you in reality, stepping back, grounding your energy, connecting to earth, calming your mind, reflecting on what you're experiencing, do some little studies, put it all together, and it will help you overcome anything, I promise. So I'm gonna pull some cards for you to end this reading, or this teaching, whatever you want to call it, and send it off. You want to maintain healthy connections in your life. You want to learn how to speak authentically and still have personal healthy boundaries. The only way to do this is to learn your own personal communication style that is a language of your own and maintains healthy connections, right? At this time, you seem to be at odds with your emotional communication with those closest to you. And although this tension and conflict is present, it is also an opportunity for growth, should you consciously address this challenge. Mercury squared Lilith. We've got the Six of Swords and Knight of Wands, moving to a calmer place with purpose, inspiration, probably a new sense of passion has risen in you. And it's going to help you follow your intuition to find what's missing. The Eight of Cups, bottom of the deck, the Judgment card. This has been a wake-up call. Hopefully it has helped you understand something on a deeper level. Maybe you didn't realize that this was all at your fingertips. So I'm going to cut this here because I know the reading part was pretty long. Hopefully it was helpful. I'm going to put that together and do a voiceover now, just kind of talking about what's going on in the in each clip. That way it can help you stay paying attention, to help you absorb as much as possible. And if not, you can go back and turn the volume down, watch it, take notes, put it on your laptop. Hopefully it was just there to help you learn how to tap into an astrology chart. So thank you for tuning in. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. Leave a comment if this was helpful for you. Share with your friends and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you for your time here. Talk to you soon.